In a minute. I've been kind of here, there, and everywhere lately. But anyway, I just got done watching this video of this kid that said that he does not want to do the 9 to 5 for the rest of his life for peanuts and throw his life away working at a corporate job, making minimum wage or whatever they're paying. It still ain't enough to live on, and everybody knows that. And he's talking about how he wants to start his own business to do that. And kids in the early 20s, like maybe turn 21, maybe, maybe, might be 22. I'd be surprised. Anyhow, I felt kind of bad for the kid that it took him till he was 21 to realize that. Because when I was 15, 14, I got a part time job at a movie theater. And I was so excited. I made minimum wage, $4.25 an hour in Boise, Idaho in the 80s, late or 90s, early 90s, early 90s. Anyhow, when I did the math of it, I was all excited. And I was getting like 25 hours a week. And then I did the math. I'd always been good at math. Sometimes I don't know if that's a good thing. Anyhow, when I saw how much I was making, I was still somewhat excited until I got my first check and realized that they took about 35% out for taxes. And then I went home, told my mom that this was bullshit. How do they expect you to actually do anything when out of the $250 I made, I got like 70 bucks? And those are just numbers that I'm throwing out there. I didn't do the math right this second on that, but the general idea. That was every 2 weeks that we got paid. So for it to go from that to that, I realized that this was some bullshit. That there shouldn't be any reason for anybody to work for that type of an income. And then I got the privilege of seeing one of my mom's paychecks, which my mom was a single mom for most of my life. Parents got divorced when I was like 2, 3, if that. I don't remember them ever being married. And dad became a hot dog man, mom became a waitress. And then she went from being a waitress to doing insurance with Prudential Insurance, which later became Liberty Mutual. But she also did investments, 401ks, IRAs, things like that. And I saw her come up from nothing, but she also was working probably 15 to 18 hours a day. She'd work the regular 8 to 5 at the office, and then she would schedule appointments in the evenings. And she was able to pull herself up and out of the hole that a lot of us find ourselves in, living paycheck to paycheck. But she had gotten very lucky. Right after that, the next year they started requiring a college degree, at least an associate's, to do the same position that she was doing just from being a waitress. And she did awesome. She became #1 in the country, won a lot of awards. Her name was Kathy Hardy. She was with Prudential. Kathy with a C. Anyhow, she was able to retire at like 52 years old because of how well she did. And she always wanted me to take over the business that she had gotten built up. And I had watched how her friends, hello, had no longer been coming around. And one day I asked her, I said, Mom, why don't Peggy and Billy and your friends come around anymore? And she said, I get tired of paying their way. I said, they're your friends. And she goes, well, I'm going to find new friends that can afford to go play the way that I want to play. And that struck a chord in me that I thought that was very rude and not the way to be a good friend. And at that point, I decided I didn't want anything to do with it because if that was what money was going to do to somebody, because she was one of the best women I knew until she made money. And then she became very money oriented. Some people could say frugal or cheap, but she used her money just like a lot of the powerful people do. She would hold it over people's heads. Do anyhow. That's not what this was about. It was about that the amount of people that we have working hourly that can't even afford to stay afloat and that are living paycheck to paycheck we need to stick together, you guys. We're getting so far separated from one another that, I mean, it says it right in our thing: united we stand, divided we fall. I mean, how many of you even know your neighbors anymore? I know I don't. We did, and then they moved. We haven't met the new ones. But even when you do, they're looking at you like people are, they're scared to meet their neighbors anymore. I know, I need to quit, but I haven't got there yet. One day, Georgia. The we need to bring back together the like the 70s when people got along. It was okay to give people hugs without being that being weird. You know, now people give each other hugs and like, ooh, don't touch me. You might have something when the something you might have may not even exist for entertainment purposes only, not educational. Just saying. But try to do something good for somebody else today. You know, my wife, she has this saying, and she tells people that she hopes that the day finds them smiling. And the first time she ever said it to me before we were married, I thought that was the neatest thing. I was like, how cool. And it did make me smile. And then I picked it up, started telling people the same thing. But you'd be surprised how much that little tiny bit of, not just tell somebody, have a good day, everybody says, have a good day. Think up something original that's going to stick to their mind. And if you can make at least one person's day better today, guarantee you'll have a better day tomorrow. Guaranteed. The more people that you make have a better day, the better day that you'll have every day. That's a fact. Like when they say that we're here to help serve other people, we are, but not as slaves with the illusion of freedom, which is what we are right now. It is such a crock of shit on. There shouldn't be 70 or 80, 90% of people living paycheck to paycheck. Or within two paychecks. If they missed them, they would be out on the street. That's not okay. So anyways, I got to get to work. You guys, much love. Thank you for listening to me ramble. And you're welcome to steal my line or my wife's line and use it. Tell somebody that you hope the day finds them smiling. Because you guys, I do hope that the day finds you smiling. Everyone that took the couple of seconds to watch. So thank you. Much love. And do better today than you did yesterday. Thank you guys.